We all know that Reddit, if nothing else, is one of the best places if you want to look into obscure internet mysteries and rabbit holes, and one of the best destinations for this is none other than the r/internet mysteries subreddit. Admittedly, there are a lot of failed ARGs and shit posts, but if you dig deep enough, there are some genuinely intriguing mysteries, some of which don't have any discernible answers, and some of which are genuinely creepy. Today, I tried to pick out some of the most interesting posts that I could delve into that actually have some mystique and intrigue to them. So join me as we investigate some of the internet's most interesting Reddit mysteries. The first topic we're looking into here is pretty much the whole reason I decided to make this video. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the username 666 creepypasta. It's one of the most well-known and infamous creepy YouTube videos of all time, created by YouTuber and artist Nana825763, amassing over 18 million views and being posted way back in February of 2008. It shows a Japanese YouTube user looking for the channel titled 666, which as shown in the video is suspended, which is true. If you looked at the account for years, this is what was shown. The account was terminated, which is pretty ominous, but we'll get back to that. Anyways, in the video, the user continuously refreshes the page, only for it to get more and more disturbing, the channel morphing into something otherworldly and demonic. Obviously, the video itself is not real, but it is extremely well made, especially for the time, so it's remembered quite fondly in the YouTube horror communities. But remember, I said the channel was actually real and it really had been terminated, which sort of led to some believing that this legend may have some truth to it. But nothing could really be gleaned or investigated further, as once a channel is suspended, their videos and previous content cannot be viewed anymore. That was until this year, when suddenly the account was unbanned. Looking at it today, there isn't too much else we can learn about it, but it's still interesting that it was unbanned after all this time, leading many users on the Internet Mysteries subreddit to wonder exactly why. At first glance, it almost appears to be a glitch, or some kind of mistake. As interestingly, the channel does not have a handle, one of the newer YouTube features which allows you to create and receive a username which is unique only to your specific channel. Even if you don't make one yourself, YouTube will usually just give you one automatically, but it doesn't seem to be the case here. Looking at the About section, we can see the channel was created on September 8th, 2005, making it a very early channel, as YouTube first launched on February 14th, 2005. The user also has no profile picture. And the only thing we can see on this channel is a playlist titled Favorites, which includes 2 videos. One of them is a music video to the Finnish rock song Hard Rock Hallelujah by Lordi, which released in 2006. However, you can't view this specific upload today as it was taken down due to copyright. The next video, uploaded in November of 2005, is a Naruto parody song video titled Poor Poor Sakura, which features the hated Naruto character alongside the song Ugly Girl. Curiously, the video's comment section is mostly filled with people talking about username 666. Diving a little deeper into the song, it seems there is some confusion as to who actually made it, with some attributing it to parody songwriter and artist Weird Al Yankovic. However, it appears as though he is frequently miscredited for the song, and it was actually created by a band called Jack Off Jill. But that's basically all we have for now in relation to this channel, and it looks like we're no closer to finding out who the owner of the channel is or why it was suspended in the first place, only for it to go back up almost 20 years later. Here's a very interesting yet creepy topic posted to the r/internet mysteries subreddit, as well as in a post from user Ding Dong Man Ditch, where they show a very strange captcha they received. Off the bat, this looks like something you'd see in an analog horror project, which we'll get a little bit more of that later. But as one user pointed out in the comments, there are multiple other people who have received this captcha, so it seems this is actually real, surprisingly. But what's going on here? The most obvious answer, which is pointed out by quite a few people, is AI, attempting to generate a human silhouette. I mean, we all know AI is far from perfect when it comes to replicating humans, but this? Yeah, it almost looks creepy for the sake of it, right? I mean, just look at this last one. It looks like a person's head being impaled on a spike, while the first two look more just like creepy looking robots. Let me know what you guys think, because there's really not much else to go on with these. I would say though, it's almost as scary as when it asks you to identify pictures of bikes and you don't know if a small piece of it actually counts. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. Those like overthinking, overanalyzing memes, but this is actually real. Once again, hailing from a post on the Internet Mystery subreddit, we have this. Quote, mysterious YouTube videos and calls regarding a non-existent sick boy using a photo of Keanu Reeves. The post further details, quote, someone or a group of people was using this specific picture of young Keanu Reeves. Those people would call random people and tell them about this boy and that he was sick. Some people who received the calls would tell the boys some kind words and ask how they can help. Others laughed it off. They would also post YouTube videos with the Keanu Reeves photo and the same message in the background they were playing during the calls. Yes, it wasn't like someone talking, but a creepy pre-recorded message or a bot talking. In some of those videos, they would use actual recorded conversations in the background. The author of the video on this topic did very good research and actually found traces of the whole thing being an artistic project, as the name they have given the boy was very specific and was found in the name of a Spotify playlist. The author even contacted some people that might have had connections, but I don't think they found much after that. The video on this topic was in Polish and from a small account I cannot find now, so I fear this is not so known. All I need here is the name they've given the boy, but that's seemingly something I forgot the most. Now from here, the mystery only goes even deeper, as we get into the Pray for Dave story, which is a perplexing internet mystery only covered by a few channels on YouTube so far. It's quite the deep rabbit hole, which at first seems like an ARG, but much like other rabbit holes, the more you look into it, the more it seems to lead to dead ends and just never really goes anywhere. It all starts with a different Reddit post, first referencing the Pray for Dave hashtag along with a phone number, which when called would leave this message. Now, looking more into the Pray for Dave hashtag would lead to a Twitter account by the name of Todd, which had the picture of young Keanu Reeves in question. There are seemingly incomprehensible messages among the tweets included with the Pray for Dave phone number. There is also a Todd YouTube channel which similarly has cryptic messages in the form of videos using Morse code, again with nonsensical messages. Their YouTube description is equally puzzling, reading, quote, an atmosphere waffles underneath the stroke. Dave challenges a variant underneath whatever protocol. The body fiddles the galaxy. The complex matter functions as well. Opposite a mechanic military explodes Dave. Dave escapes above the age. Does an accusing mount past the bush chain? The fiddle points to its T in the unclear faith. Dave solves a flower around a horrid stagger. A raid enters inside Dave. The course executive imitates Dave. The countryside composes around an intellect. The grammar routs its preface. A pole coppers an idealistic spirit underneath the baffle. Dave moves the breach. Should the visual indicator listen inside a transformation? Why does an elevator punt near a renewed referendum? A comparable penny noses within the community chorus. Hashtag Pray for Dave. Yeah, basically just complete nonsense. Eventually though, YouTuber Internet Mystery Machine, through a deep dive into a seemingly random New Orleans Reddit post, leads us to a band by the name of We Are Not Musicians, with one of their tracks found on Spotify called Hashtag Pray for Dave. But the rabbit hole goes even deeper, because one of the people credited as part of the We Are Not Musicians group is a man named Flip Fitch, and he was featured on another track called Crap Stacks, which also featured the band KFC Murder Chicks, a group that would lead you down an even deeper rabbit hole in the Aratus mystery, which I won't have time to get into here. Point is, this one goes pretty deep, with random connections to a bunch of different and strange internet mysteries, but why? What is all of this? Is it an ARG? Well, it's kind of unclear. Maybe it's all just the schizophrenic ramblings of a madman. Or maybe there's some deeper art project at play. Is it possible that it all really ties in with the Aratus mystery though? Either way, it's one of the strangest internet rabbit holes I've ever come across. Our next mystery takes us back once again to a Reddit post talking about a strange video they found which was recently uploaded. And I know what you're thinking. Immediately, it just sounds like someone plugging their ARG. But if we go over to the actual video, we can see it was uploaded in April of 2024 and has already amassed over 1.7 million views, with many people in the comments discussing how this randomly and creepily appeared in their recommendations for some reason. I mean, we all know the YouTube recommendations can be pretty weird sometimes and even encourage newer channels to show up, but this? As we can see, the video is only about 44 seconds long and just consists of a person unnervingly playing the piano while they look to be wearing a mask of some kind. The video also has a location which can now be put in the description if you so choose, to which they put hell. The video itself is untitled, but the channel is called Zeppelin and has over 50,000 subscribers. However, they only have 2 videos, this one and another one uploaded 4 weeks ago, titled bear_dance.mp4. This video shows a person, likely the same one, in a bear mask dancing to the piano music before falling to the floor. The description labels the video's location as heaven, interestingly enough, contrasting obviously with the last video. Looking a bit more at the channel itself, their profile picture is just the thumbnail from the first video, and their channel banner doesn't really give us much insight either. Also, the channel was created in September of 2020, almost 4 years before they would drop their first video, which is admittedly curious. Although for me, the weirdest part is how or why this video randomly blew up on everyone's recommendations for seemingly no reason. Like, I get it, yes, this is some kind of ARG, but how did it get so much traction so quickly? Also though, as pointed out by a Redditor on this post, if you look at their channel statistics on Social Blade, you can see they had previous videos up which got them a small amount of views in the years preceding these strange uploads. We can even see when they decided to likely delete all their videos, as 20,000 views were erased in August of 2021. Still, it's insane to see them go from 18 views in all of March to 46,000 in April and now 1.7 million in May. This is definitely one to keep an eye on. This is quite a strange website, which has been looked into quite a bit on various internet mystery subreddits due to, well, these weird and creepy images, which seem to be the only things that can be found on the site. What's peculiar is also the name, Gandalf.com, in reference to the well-known Lord of the Rings character. Even more mysterious is the fact that the site has allegedly existed for over 24 years now. Looking back at a Reddit post from 2 years ago by user Adam Did This To Me on the Unsolved Mysteries subreddit, we have a description of his encounter with the site. Quote, "In 2013, I was in an elementary school computer class, messing around on them with some friends. We began entering random URLs into the search bar and randomly stumbled into Gandalf.com. Warning, it's a little creepy. The site itself has very little on it, only a bizarre painting at the end of a stone/wood hallway. If you click anywhere on the page, it zooms into the scene and close to the painting, displaying a message saying, 'Gandalf is busy. Please go away.' If you were to click it again, it brings up a link to the email address orcs@gandalf.com. I did send an email about 9 days ago, but never got any response. I had forgotten about the site until a few days ago when I spoke to one of my old friends and he brought up the subject. It had stayed the exact same the whole time. Upon revisiting the site, I thought this time to do a little digging into it and found more questions than answers. One of the first things I thought to do was check the Wayback Machine and see the history of the site. The first captures are from 1998. It was a Mattel company offshoot. As far as I can tell, the capture was very incomplete, before the domain became available for purchase. The first capture of the site in its current form is from October 8th, 2000. The site has been the exact same for 22 years. It's a bizarre fact about the site, but that doesn't really answer anything. The next thing I did was look for other Reddit threads, and found this 2-year-old post on r/arg asking a similar question. People there apparently started a Discord. They had a link, though it is expired, and I'm not familiar enough with Discord to figure out how to get to the Discord page. One person in the comments claimed that the creator was a crazy drug addict who thinks he's Jesus. There is also an archived X thread talking about it, but still no answers there. I'm not the most tech-savvy guy out there, so I'm out of ideas of where to look for further answers. I don't think it's an ARG, and if it is a crazy junkie, then why is he paid to keep the site up for so long? Well, the easy answer to this question would be that it's just a simple case of domain squatting, the act of purchasing domain names which may be sought after by people in the future in regards to media projects and whatnot, buying them at a cheaper price and holding on to them until you can sell it for a quick profit. This has been done and documented many times, so someone doing this with such an iconic Lord of the Rings character makes a lot of sense, as many have pointed out. But then that begs the question, why did they never sell it? Why is it still up to this day and for so long? And why the strange, unnerving images? The other theory though would be that this is some kind of failed ARG, which a few people posited as an answer to this, but there isn't really much to back this up. A user would further go on to make an extremely detailed and thorough post investigating this mystery, noting a few notable things, such as the fact that it was once held by a company called Mattel, like we talked about, for a while, before being acquired by whoever made the current version of the site, likely in the early 2000s rather than the 90s, and there is even a hidden page, which asks for username and password credentials to view logs of some kind. Looking into the same user's post, we get a lot more insight onto Gandalf.com and its possible creator. And here we have the man behind the slaughter. No, but for real, does this not look like it came from some analog horror? Delving a little deeper, the user writes, quote, "I only know of this site thanks to this post from a month ago. In my comment there, I shared some minutia I found. This domain belonged to a company named Gandalf, which used to sell dial-up modems. It was a sub-brand of the internet provider Mattel, which still operates today. Then the site got replaced with a domain for sale page, and then it became what it is now. The only thing changed since then is the email address that you'd be prompted to send an email to. It used to point to AOL.com, not at Gandalf.com. The AOL.com email is, interestingly enough, linked to a banned Pinterest account. Also, there's a password-protected page of Gandalf.com/logs. This domain is old, and the WHOIS protection wasn't common back in the day. I simply entered the domain to Woxy.com and saw the archive records from 2016 that contained the admin's contact data. His name is Dan Cowper, and he owns some other sites worth mentioning. Blamebush.com says, "Blame Bush and nothing else." Used to be a site with a huge criticism on the now former US president though. It's interesting that at some point between being anti-Bush, it was a gallery of some couple's wedding photos, and that there were the webmaster name and email specified. They were not Dan's. dcowper.com says, "Welcome, why are you here? No one else is," smiley face, and nothing else. Quite a warm greeting to all us curious internet researchers. In it. Waveability.com says, "Waves a comin'," and you'd be surprised, nothing else. Probably has something to do with his music site, lawrenceandmrfly.com, which is, although still running, not meaningful in this research. RebeccaColeMarsh.com, a photo of a person and a sign, "Hi there." This site has been edited once in 2016, when a child's photo has been replaced with the current one and the text was added. dancalper.com, a short bio of this man himself, last updated in 2014 as seen in the web archive. It used to get changed often back in the Web 1.0 era. There are no outlinks to Gandalf.com. Also, there's a 2018 subsite about the funeral of Dan's dad. On the current version of this website though, which can still be viewed today, dated 2014, we get this super outdated short bio with 2 pictures. The bio reads, quote, "I was raised in the mountains of Southern California. Despite personal tragedies, I was able to build a web design company to support both local and international businesses during the web's explosive growth at the beginning of the millennium. The global economic roller coaster has presented many challenges. I consider myself a Renaissance man and have a strong background in computers, science, finance, law, and business." Back over to the Reddit post, the user delves into an older version of his archived site, which gives a little bit more background. Quote, "Dan used to work as a model in France. Then he switched to software engineering. He used to run a web studio called Clear Image Design LLC. It got closed due to the 2008 economic crisis and a divorce of 2 other directors. Simply by Googling his name, I found a recent PDF presentation of some IT company, which mentions a person named Dan Cowper and a photo of him from his back. So if it is him, then he still works as a programmer." So from everything we've seen here, it just seems to be a simple case of domain squatting. Maybe he even forgot he had the site at all. But either way, it doesn't really seem to be an ARG, because there's been nothing really new to come from this site in the last 20 years. The images are likely just placeholders, but who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Here we've got yet another Internet Mysteries subreddit post. Quote, "If I remember correctly, it's a screenshot of a 4chan post. Reverse searching doesn't give any results. Any way to find the post or information about whatever this is?" Then we're left with this image. Honestly, pretty innocuous, maybe a little creepy. The grainy camera quality, sinister looking tree in the background, and of course the man with the, let's call it, interesting head shape. The lore rundown can be found in the comments though. It seems that this was the actual original image that this was based on, as the user writes, quote, "There was supposedly a real picture of an alien posted to 4chan. It was said that the image would get deleted all the time, and people were getting banned after discussing it. Basically, through different forms of investigation, it was determined that it wasn't real, and anyone who was saying the servers were shutting off and people getting banned were all false. But I believe this to be a parody of the whole thing, due to the way that the alien picture is framed. Alien on the far left side with a tree on the right side of the image." The user would then go on to show many more examples of various mock-ups of the image, so case closed on this one, I guess. And for the last one here, we have one that, when I stumbled onto this image late at night, actually gave me a genuine jump scare. This was the post I came across. Quote, "So recently, a lot of videos have been blowing up about a guy named Zarzour. He is an alleged Moroccan killer who ran 48 kilometers per hour. He's usually posted with the first image. However, I've not been able to find any info on who Zarzour actually is. Reverse searching the image provides no results. However, I think it's the same man as the one in the second photo, Invite Me to Your House. It's been bugging me for the past few days, and I need to find out what the origin is of Zarzour." The second photo he is referring to is this one, likely of the same guy. Not as creepy of an image as the first one, but still has quite the uncanny appearance, let's say. Now, the idea of this guy being a serial killer is terrifying enough, but this added fact that he can run 48 kilometers per hour doesn't help much. Now, how fast is that in miles? Because I'm a dumb American. Well, running a quick conversion, you get about 30 miles an hour, an impossibly fast run speed. For comparison, the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt, reached a top speed of 27.33 miles per hour. So that would make this guy the fastest known man on Earth. And can you imagine getting chased by this guy? Anyways though, YouTuber DNWUDL beat me to it in investigating this strange mystery, where he looked into who this man could actually be. At first, many people thought this man was a TikToker by the name of Zarzour, who bears a striking resemblance to the man, as well as shares his name, which seems to be at least somewhat uncommon. I mean, I've never heard this name anywhere else before. However, his bio says his real name is actually Abdul Aziz. Now, as far as the running fast thing goes, like where did that all come from? Did someone just make this up? Well, apparently this comes from a random video from way back in the day of a man allegedly outrunning a cheetah, which actually was not real, surprise surprise. Regardless, somehow these strange images and the fact that he was a fast runner led to people making up strange and creepy lore, which can be found in multiple TikToks explaining the story of Zarzour. How he is allegedly a Moroccan serial killer that can run 30 miles per hour, was born in 1983, and no one can catch him or escape from him. Apparently though, according to these TikToks, he began as a thief that was never caught due to his running speed, only to be put behind bars after turning himself in, to which he received a 10-year sentence. He then got out and became a drug lord or something, and then would rob people's cars and stand in the middle of the street. He would also assault people and I guess eventually became a serial killer, according to this creepypasta. Then there's the other image, which may or may not even be the same guy, and it's unclear which of these images are edited or which ones are actually real at this point, but either way the story is obviously fake, but it's an interesting urban legend. Hopefully the guy on TikTok doesn't get harassed too much because of this, but yeah, definitely interesting at the very least. I know this is sort of a different video from what I usually do on my channel, and it's a bit on the shorter side. Let me know though if you want another one of these in the future, because I'm definitely looking into doing other stuff on this channel, sort of expanding and, you know, finding other topics to look into. Anyways though, stay tuned for more icebergs and other stuff coming soon. That's been it for me. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.